Teresa, Van Mennen, and one. Look at that. Great play. Look at I love the celebration there, too.
Hello again, everybody. Welcome to this week's MPTV Coach Show. Ryan Lindley, Brian Dieters, and let's just start off on the basketball court. There's basketball behind us. We've continued. I mean, this is the number that I really want to talk about, both boys and girls, undefeated since the calendar turned to 2026.
You were just mentioning that before we got going here. Yeah. I love that stat.
Yes.
You know, obviously it's like, well, it's only January, but we're talking 3 weeks in. Yeah. Full season, full schedule through those 3 weeks. Yeah. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. And we'll talk to the girls first just because that was the game that, as we're filming this, the game you're behind us is the game last night where they hammered a Muhammad team that, they came in, and Brian and Gordon and I were calling the game, and we were kind of like, well, Muhammad's 11-10, but they've played some good teams close. What's this going to look like tonight? And we were up 23-5 almost before you blinked.
Yeah, I mean, we're just looking at, we're in the second quarter here already 17-5.
Yeah.
And we've just kind of been watching a little bit of this as we've been preparing, and it's just clear where our girls are at.
Yes.
And it's pretty exciting as we're getting closer and closer to February, and that means postseason basketball.
Yeah, and then the last important note on that, you speak about postseason basketball, Galesburg, and it's a home game on Saturday, so if you're around, get on out to the Potter Dome, because arguably, and you never know, I mean, you've coached long enough, postseason seeds are sometimes a toss of the coin, but it would seem like the winner of that game will be the 1 seed in our subsectional.
All right, well, exciting stuff. So get on out and support the girls as they take on Galesburg.
Yeah, and let's talk about the boys here. Boys are 15-4. They just got a big win over Champaign Centennial. They beat Washington, so East Peoria won as well. So Potters are tied in first place in the Middle Illini, but it's now a 2-way tie instead of a 3-way tie after we beat Washington.
Yeah, and not only that, I think you've got to just continue to talk about the guys' momentum, the mojo, or whatever you want to call it, that they have continuing on. You mentioned they haven't lost yet in this calendar year. It has been a while, and since they've been healthy and had that opportunity to build that chemistry, they are very formidable as we finish out this conference play.
Yeah. Oh, I agree completely. And I talked to a gentleman that was subbing for us yesterday, but he did the book when he was a teacher at Dunlap, and he still goes to a lot of their games. And he said that he's seen everybody in the conference one time through, and he thought Morton was the best team.
Okay.
So,
good to know.
So we'll take the outsider opinion.
I love it.
It removes our bias, if you will.
Amen.
Let's talk about bowling. We have our boys bowling team is headed to sectionals. I had a chance to catch up with Chase Hopper and Aaden Lamar. Let's take a look at that interview, and then we'll talk a little bit more about it.
All right, we got Chase and Aaden are here. Our MHS bowling team just finished up their regional. We'll start, Chase. You are one of 3 bowlers that have bowled a 300 game this year. Just talk a little about not only yours, but obviously Max and Owen too.
Getting mine at a different house was pretty crazy. Got my name posted up on the wall, so that was pretty cool. And then Max getting 300 at the own house, Potter's Alley with like an 815 series. I think that's the highest out of all of us. He did great that day. Plus, he just had a new ball. And then Owen got his first one in a tournament. That was pretty crazy to see. And, I really enjoyed it for him and all that.
Awesome. And then, Aaden, you guys have regionals. You finished second. Just kind of talk about the regional in general and just kind of that experience.
Yeah, so it was in Danville. We finished second. The team didn't bowl great, but I was able to bring home the individual title, which was nice. And then we've got sectionals on Saturday in Morris, and then if we make state, we'll have state down by St. Louis the weekend after that.
Awesome. Talk about, either one of you guys, I guess, just the goals. I mean, obviously making it to state, but maybe like as you approach the sectionals, maybe what's the strategy, or how do you kind of approach this to get that opportunity to go to state?
I think one of the determining factors for us making it on the state is spares. We missed a bunch of spares in our regional, and I think if we kind of clean those up and stuff, we have a good chance of moving on.
Yeah, I would say bowling, especially for our team, it's very mental, and like you just got to keep it in front of you and not get like super like mad, which is I feel like it's kind of like that with any sport. But we just got to keep our heads up and keep chugging away, and we should make a run here.
All right, last question for you. Just is like if you're talking to somebody like me who's like not a very good bowler, but sometimes likes to go mess around, like what's the best advice you would give somebody?
Throw it up the middle. I don't know.
I like
Throw it up the middle. Hit the one in front.
That's tremendous. Chase, I don't know if you can top that.
Yeah, just hit the pins. That's all.
Love it. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it and good luck.
Yep, thank you.
So there you go. I mean, obviously they're excited to get to sectionals. Aaden won the regionals in individual. The team finished second, which is good enough to get you through. But I thought it was cool. Chase talked about, we had the video last week, which is amazing, of Owen Taylor, the 300 game.
Yeah.
But Chase talked about that. Max Carter just bowled a 300 game. So now we've had 3 300 bowlers. Yeah.
That seems to me to be very impressive.
Yes, yeah.
I haven't done a lot of, admittedly, scouting of what other bowling teams look like, and if that's just like, run of the mill. But man, it's exciting to see those guys having such success.
Yeah, and then Aaden, it was kind of funny. We didn't talk about it on camera, but he was kind of saying like, I won the regional, but I haven't hit that 300 yet. At least not in school competition. Like that's kind of his next goal is to kind of join the 300 party.
The nice thing about that, to your point, when you have individuals in a team setting that are having success, it pushes, it brings up the level, and that's just a perfect example of that. So keep it going, guys.
Yeah, they'll be at the sectional at Morris this weekend. So good luck to them. On the girls bowling side, talk a little bit about that. The bowling seasons are kind of staggered. It's kind of interesting. I mean, I think it might be, quite frankly, just bowling alley space, But so they're about 2 or 3 weeks behind in terms of like girls getting to the postseason. But speaking of unbeaten teams, like the basketball team is in 2026. Girls bowling undefeated this season.
What more are you going to say? They haven't lost yet. Clearly, that means that we have a broad amount of talent from the top spot to the final spot, and I'm sure Coach Tucker's bringing that energy that we know that he has to make it fun, but also getting the kids to have that team spirit that you need, and so love to get out there to see them roll it.
Yeah, absolutely. Continuing just kind of this streak of teams that just don't like losing. We'll talk about our swimming and diving group, again, co-op with Washington East Peoria, but we've said it before, Morton kids making a huge impact. They continue to dominate their dual meets. Just got a W over Metamora, I believe, on Tuesday. Yep. And just, just continuing to be successful, and again, a lot of our Morton kids are a huge piece of that.
There's no question. We've talked about it time and time again, and the fact that they haven't lost is all you really need to know there.
Yeah, and then wrestling it's kind of interesting. Like wrestling kind of a lot of the sports accelerate. We talk about girls getting close to a point where the postseason seeds are critical in girls basketball. Wrestling, obviously, as I say this, it's JV, not varsity, but JV has their conference tournament this weekend, but that means the varsity conference tournament isn't that far off. And as we're filming it, it's senior night tonight. As you're watching this, it'll have been senior night either a day or two ago. But just shout out to our senior wrestlers, like Ben Schaefer, Miles Schaefer, Louis Nolan, Ryan Siebenthal, JJ Barnes, Sam Fisher, Gavin Bencher, Will Webb, all those guys.
Well done.
Oh, thank you. But it's just like, we've talked about it so many times, but wrestling is probably the most physically demanding sport.
Sport. And like you said, it is moving so fast. I just was talking with Noah Harris in the hallway, and those were his exact words. Like, I can't believe how fast this season has gone. And I think a lot of it is just that absolute commitment they have to have. Their body, they have to really, really watch what they're eating, how much they're drinking. It takes a lot of discipline. And when you're into it that intensely, not that all the other sports aren't, but specifically in those kind of areas, it goes like that. So.
Yeah, no, it's all consuming. And
there you go. That's exactly correct.
And much respect to those seniors who, I think almost all of them have done it for all 4 years. So, impressive.
Hats off, gentlemen.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll leave it there for this week. Again, another great week. And we'll update you on that girls basketball game with Galesburg, amongst other things, next week.
All right. Sounds great.
So for Brian Dieters, I'm Ryan Lindley. Goodbye, everybody. Bye-bye.